G'day, welcome to Mouthful of Bees. This is a UFC analysis of Volkanovski Holloway 2 on the weekend. I just felt the need to do this after listening to all the American media and their analyses today, and it's pretty annoying. But I just want to focus on the two questionable rounds 3 and 4. And look, there's lots of ways you can judge a fight or get your opinion of a fight. You can go, okay, who would win if it was a street fight? You could say who was winning at the end of the fight, and then I think that might be old pride ways, I'm not sure. You can say who actually won the fight, which is what Luke Thomas was saying today. Or more specifically, he was saying, who would you rather be at the end of the fight? I don't know. That's a bit confusing. Look, I don't really want to go into that. You could talk about damage. You could talk about momentum, anything like that. And then there's another way you can look at the fight, and it's biased, and it's possibly how I'm looking at the fight. I feel like it's definitely how the Americans are looking at the fight because, firstly, it's one of America's darlings, Max Holloway. Awesome guy, legend guy. I wish he was Australian. Anyway, Americans love him, and maybe that is some bias. Also, the fact that they really worried about what he could do, and then in the first 2 rounds, they were just like, "Oh my God, Max has figured it out. He's going to do this." And that set of glasses was how they saw the following 3 rounds. And also a lot of arguments about these knockdowns. But knockdowns are not black and white. Knockdowns are very grey. There's your Cody Garbrandt recent knockdown of Rafael Assunção, which became a knockout. Cold-blooded. Or then there's the knockdown, both of them from Max. Alex was back like a jack in the box and swinging within a second. So there's levels of knockdowns. So you can't just say knockdown wins the fight, especially if they're early and things change so late. So I think the only way you can judge a fight is by the judging criteria that the UFC put in place. I think it's hard to do it with bias, but if you can try or go back later when you're sober and look at it through a set of glasses that are the judging criteria, which are this. Anik says it, and the other dude says it, Brendan Fitzgerald says it before every fight. Judges, the fights are scored on significant striking, grappling, and octagon control in that order. I think it might be called effective striking, grappling, and octagon control in that order. That's what we're looking at today. So let's go round 3. The first 3 minutes, I reckon the effective striking was even. Max had that flying knee against the cage, which we've only seen one angle of it, so we're not even sure. Remember, the commentary was quite biased in Max's favour. 2 Americans. 1 expat. So Max had that flying knee. This is in the first 3 minutes. And then Alex had the left hook that had Max pouring at his eye. I would say there's significant striking, or the effective striking was even in the first 3 minutes. Then we had 30 seconds of grappling control against the fence by Alex. Then you got the last 1.5 minutes where the effective striking, I would say just in favour of Alex, if not even, and of course I might be biased. So what I tried to do when I watch it, imagine if you had a little back and forth, little toggle, and you go, all right, they hit him, it's going in their favour, or you hit him again, or you hit him back, or you hit him back again, and I do it like that to try and see who has the favour, and you got to look at it not as strikes, not as total strikes, as effective strikes. It doesn't matter with which 8 limbs. It's how effective they are, as much as we know from the outside. And so I think if the striking was even, if not just in Alex's favor in that last 1.5 minutes, then in that order, the next thing is grappling. Alex controlled him for 30 seconds against the fence. So even if the effective striking was even, the next thing along the line is the grappling, and Alex controlled him. You have to give that round to Alex. Round 4. First 3 minutes, I would give Holloway the advantage in the effective striking. By the way, in both these rounds, octagon controllers, it went so back and forward, and it's also the third thing in line of how to judge that it's almost insignificant. But back to round 4. The first 3 minutes, the effective striking was pretty even, but I would give it to Holloway, the advantage to Holloway. Then Alex had a takedown. Max got up pretty quick. I think the whole time from taking him down, holding him against the cage and being up was 10 seconds. So it's pretty minimal, but it was the only grappling in that round. And Alex did take him down, if you want to include that, which we'll think about later. But then the last 2 minutes of round 4, the effective striking went up a huge level. So if you're looking at round 4 as a whole, and effective striking is the first criteria, you're going to focus on the last 2 minutes, and then you'll look at other things afterwards. The last 2 minutes, very close. I would say closer than round 3. I found round 4 harder to judge than round 3 because the grappling wasn't as much and the striking was closer. The effective striking was closer. But I did have Alex in his favor. Remember, there was 2 leg strikes that knocked Max down, as in to one knee. That you could say they were strikes that made him off balance, or they could also be strikes that have hit a compromised leg and affected him to lose his balance. I'm not sure, I'm not the fighter. But from the judge's point of view, there's 2 kicks that made Max fall. And I would say if you had to fall in one favor on the significant striking, you'd have to go to Alex's side. And that's not even talking about the takedown, which you want to put it on top. Alex definitely won round 4. That's my arguments for round 3 and 4. I haven't looked at round 5. We're very low budget here, and I can't afford to pay for it to watch it again, so I have to wait a month. But look, I just think most of the Americans complaining because one of their darlings lost and probably won't be able to have another go at the title again, which is, look, I'd love to see it again because I reckon the tactics and the swings in this, the changes Max made and then the changes Alex made mid-fight is great. And I would love to see a third one. I think it'd be so great to watch tactically. So I would love to see a third fight. But look, I just think everyone in American media today is complaining about what the judging should be. And I think that's a fair argument, but not the day after. Have some respect. Give Alex his due. He beat Max twice within the set of rules that are defined. Give the guy a bit of respect. This is a mouthful of bees. Just my opinion. If you like this, please share it. Help us out and subscribe. Catch you later.